Tim Collins with Cullman Today. I'm out for week 6 of the legislative sessions with Senator Paul Bussman. Senator, we're about halfway through the session this time, aren't we?
We just finished day 14 of 30, and so we're moving along pretty quickly this time, and hopefully we'll get done and possibly get out early. That would be a tremendous benefit to everybody, and it would be a tremendous benefit to the state.
Well, Senator, I was lucky this week because I got to go down to Montgomery, watch you in action on Wednesday with the chamber, some local leaders, some students. You know what? It was madness, and it looked like you had a tough day to me.
Well, it was a good week and a bad week. Having the chamber down and having all the local people from Cullman and the youth leadership group down, it's always exciting for them to come down and see what is actually going on in Montgomery and how things work, and to understand what the issues are that we're having to deal with. The week was very slow. The first day we didn't really do anything. We're coming off the minimum wage and the Heritage Act, and so it was kind of a calm week as far as legislation is concerned. Kind of a tough week for me personally. I was disciplined by my leadership for what I was for voting in the way that I felt like I should vote. I felt like it was an intimidation factor, and as most of you know, I'm going down to Montgomery and I'm voting my conscience. I'm voting what I think's right and wrong. I'm not intimidated by lobbyists. I'm not intimidated by leadership. My goal is to support the people in my district and vote the way they want me to vote, and that's exactly what I'm going to do. If I get sanctioned or if I get disciplined for those actions, then so be it. But I can tell you that you can be assured that my vote is going to be in the best interest of my district in the state of Alabama.
Now, if you don't mind, I'd like to touch on that just slightly more. And my understanding is that you were removed as the vice chairman of the Rules Committee.
That's correct.
And I think I know some of the reasons, but I watched some behavior in a committee room that you were attending from Senator Trip Pittman. He was very impassioned, very focused. He wanted a certain outcome. He did not get it. And the man literally at the end of that vote stood up and I can only call it a flailing hissy fit. He was throwing soda cans, slamming doors, saying things that were probably not appropriate. It seems like he should be the one that would also get sanctioned. Well, I don't understand, I guess is what I'm saying.
Well, and that's the double standard that I see sometimes in Montgomery. There are certain requirements or certain characteristics and behaviors that we're supposed to abide by in my position. And when you see things like that occur, because I unintentionally embarrassed somebody or I spoke negatively against the bill of somebody else, to me that doesn't go to that level of somebody that does what occurred in that committee room. And so again, I'm not going to be intimidated. I'm not going to be told what to do, and I'm not going to be told how to vote, and I'm not going to be told to be quiet. And if that's what leadership is trying to do in this instance, I don't think they're going to win very much on that.
Well, I think that pretty much says it all. Let's move forward to what may be a truly landmark bill for the state of Alabama. It's your Industrial Hemp legislation. I've ran a story on it, but you want to touch on that a little bit more?
Yeah, very, very quickly. We have a tremendous opportunity in the state of Alabama for our agriculture community. There is industrial hemp, which is genetically and chemically different than marijuana, that can be grown in the state of Alabama, and the fiber from that plant can be used for almost 2,500 different products. It is very water conservative. It's easier on the soil than cotton. It can produce as much as cotton, and so what we did this time was we dropped a bill this week that would allow Auburn, AUM, and the Department of Agriculture to do research to determine if it's a good product in Alabama and what production they can get and how can they make it grow faster and better. But I want to be very clear, this is totally different than what we think of marijuana. It's like both of them come from the cannabis plant, but it's like comparing a Chihuahua to a Great Dane. I mean, they're dogs, but they are totally different, and the drug inside the industrial hemp is almost negligible.
Well, yeah, I did a little research on it, and industrial hemp is already legalized in production, in use in 25, 30 different states already. We're just kind of catching up, aren't we?
And that's the problem. We're behind, and our farmers don't have that opportunity to grow this product. And if everybody understands what it is and what it isn't, then I think it will move along very quickly in the state of Alabama. And again, it's very important knowing that we're having commodity problems with peanuts and those kind of things across the state. We've got to give our farmers other opportunities to grow good and healthy materials that will produce car parts and cloth and rope and building materials and all those different things.
Absolutely. Well, let's jump forward to next week, week 7. What do you expect to see?
Next week's going to be another strange week. We really don't know what's coming. We know the education budget came up from the House, which means we're going to have to deal with that in the next couple of weeks. Senator Marsh has his education bill that got out of committee the other day that could be talked about, and so we really don't know at this point what's coming, or it could be just another slow week with a bunch of minor bills that really have little effect on everybody. But the big bills are coming in the next couple, 2 or 3 weeks. The gun bill will be coming up at some point, I'm sure, and when they do, we'll deal with them as they come up. But I think they will come up in the next 2 or 3 weeks.
Okay, we're going to call week 7 a surprise. Senator, thanks so much for your time. I appreciate it.
Hey, glad to do it. Thanks.